Argentinians are furious with Shakira because of this. Did you notice it? That's right. Argentinians are furious because they put a person of African descent in an Argentina jersey in Shakira's new song, which is supposed to be like the World Cup anthem or something like that, or the official World Cup song. Well, let's see what people are saying. Argentina is not Africa. Shakira used an African to represent Argentinians in the official song for the 2026 World Cup. Even though Argentina has a mostly white population and less than 0.7% is Afro-descendant. Look, this is true. I mean, this figure isn't made up. The reality is that the vast majority of the Argentine population is white. This is an undeniable truth, but apparently it bothers and upsets a lot of people. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with being white, being brown, being black. There's nothing wrong with it, but for some reason it bothers a lot of people. That the majority of the Argentine population is white. And Argentines are upset because this isn't the first time. I mean, Argentines think this isn't a coincidence. And honestly, I have to say, I kind of agree with them to a certain extent. Just look at this. The Washington Post wonders why there aren't more black players on the Argentine national team. This was during the 2022 Qatar World Cup. So, the Washington Post attacked the Argentine national team. I mean, they went after Argentina and asked how it's possible that there are no black players here. A question that is obviously pretty absurd. There aren't more black players because there aren't many black people in Argentina. It's that simple and straightforward. I wonder why these media outlets don't go and publish stories or analyses asking why the vast majority of players on the French national team are African. For example, I think that question would be even more interesting. Imagine the headline, "Why are there so many Africans on the French national team?" I think so. It's a peculiar question, isn't it? Now imagine these media outlets asking themselves things like, in this World Cup, South Africa plays the opening match against Mexico. Imagine these media outlets asking themselves why the South African national team doesn't have white players or hardly has any white players. It would be an interesting question, not very peculiar, but they never ask it. It's always framed this way. It's always aimed at Argentina. In fact, let me remind you that Adidas did something a couple of years ago. Pay attention, Pato Bonato comments. They're desperate to push this terrible agenda, he says. Look at the models for the new Argentina kit. There isn't a single Argentine like that in the whole country. It's like making an ad for Nigeria with a blonde, blue-eyed person, which doesn't happen in Nigeria. I mean, you're not going to see Adidas do that. No, under any circumstances, but just look at this. These are the models Adidas used for the Argentina national team. Just look at this. I mean, he looks very Argentine. This guy, I mean, he's just an average Argentine. Incredible. Let's keep going. Look at this other Argentine here. This Argentine posing with the Argentina national team jersey. I don't know. To me, he looks a bit like Messi, right? He looks a lot like Messi. And this one, being a bit bald, resembles Higuain. I think they're twin brothers. But anyway, the point is that Argentinians are furious and now we're going to see a bit more. Here someone comments, Argentina is not Africa. More of the same. Look, exactly 0.7% of the Argentine population is of African descent. Now, there's something very important, and I don't think this is a minor issue. It turns out this video was recorded in Brazil. Yes, guys, in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro at the Maracanã. Let's see, there are a lot of questions we need to ask ourselves. First, if the World Cup is going to be in the United States, Mexico and Canada, why wasn't this video recorded at the Azteca Stadium, for example? But that doesn't really matter. What does matter in this case is to mention that, look, this video was recorded in Brazil, and let's remember that Brazil has a very different demographic compared to Argentina. I mean, Brazilians are not the same as Argentinians, they're different, and that's very important to mention because I want to show you the following. Please hold on because you're about to see. But anyway, here this person tells us there are 18 black people in the video. This whole inclusion thing is getting out of hand for them. Here we can see this, and it's true. 18 black people in the video. Of course, one might think this is in Brazil and well, we have players like Ronaldinho, Neymar, right? Vinicius, Hendrick. Okay, do you see? There are a lot of players who are Afro-descendant, but here's where the important part comes in. What is the percentage of black people in the Argentine population, or rather, in the Brazilian population? Pay attention. Here they tell us the majority population is brown or multiracial, 45.3%. Then the white population, 43.5%. Then the black population, 10.2%, indigenous, 0.8%, and Brazilian Asians, 0.4%. It's crazy. I mean, basically, they made the majority out of people who make up 10.2% of the Brazilian population. Do you realize this? It's not a minor issue, but be careful. I know many might think, okay, but Brazil is a very big country. This was recorded in Rio. Maybe in Rio the demographics are different. No. Rio is in the southeast of the country, and this is not a minor issue because the vast majority of people who are mixed race or Afro-descendant are more concentrated in the north of Brazil. In the south, people are mostly white because distribution does matter. In fact, here's what they tell us. The mixed race population predominates in the north, making up 67.2% of the north of the country. Meanwhile, the white population is the majority in the southern region, with 72.6% of the regional total. In fact, let's look at the ethnic breakdown or the percentages in Rio. Mixed race 38.7% white. 45.4%, that is, the vast majority of Brazilians living in Rio are white, or at least 45.4%. Actually, the majority group, because there are hardly any whites. So, in Shakira's video, interesting, well, not interesting, but anyway, let's continue here. Afro-descendants make up 15.6%, and Asians or indigenous people 0.3%. Let me remind you that yellows refers to the group of Asians. Also, okay, do you realize then, of course, this doesn't apply to the case of Brazil either, because I saw that many people were arguing, well, but this video was filmed in Brazil. And well, let's remember that Brazilians are different from Argentinians, and here they just wanted to put an Argentina jersey on a Brazilian. I think it's a good point. I think it's a very valid argument, but we already saw where the little problem is. They put 18 black people. There should be a few mixed race people here. There's one here, right? There are others here. Okay, and there are also a few white people, right? But the reality is that the vast majority of people who appear in the video are black. Although in reality, they only make up 15.6% of the population of Rio and 10% of the population of Brazil. Interesting. Well, Shakira didn't accurately represent the Brazilian population in this video. She didn't. Interesting. There's also something that catches my attention. Let's remember that this is a World Cup song. It's an official World Cup song. And guys, where are the Asians? Where are the Europeans? Why weren't there more people or more demographic groups dancing in this Shakira video? Well, interesting. I'm not just saying this for no reason, but if this video had been recorded in Europe, I assure you, they would have made sure to include diversity. I guarantee it. If this video had been recorded at the Bombonera in Argentina, more than one Argentine would have appeared like this, or a supposed Argentine like the one in the video. Guaranteed they would have done it in the name of inclusion and diversity. But it looks like they forgot about that here. Anyway, what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. Argentine people, please comment on what you think about all this, because it's not the first time. That's the problem. They've done it many times, especially with Argentina. Why is that? I wonder. See you next time.